So I thought we'd take a quick look at a couple of items that came in the post over the last few days. This one's from Spark Fun Electronics. Let's go ahead and open the box if we can figure out how it's opened. Big box, lots of packaging, small item. So this is a complete PIC 32 system on a single board. It's the 32-bit Whacker, W-H-A-C-K-E-R, PIC 32 MX795 development platform. And so, like I say, it's a PIC 32 MX795, I believe 512 meg flash, complete little development board. The intent is to use this as part of my clock project. So you've seen me talking about the B7971 clock project that's currently on that Micro E Fusion 7 board. It's very large. This will give me a nice small form factor that I'll be able to embed into the clock easily. It wasn't terribly spendy. I don't remember, $30 to $50. A large chunk of this clock will just be modules like this that'll essentially be plugged together. This gives me plenty of I/O. For a clock, obviously a PIC 32 is overkill. With the things I plan to do with the clock eventually, it'll help. I want to get Ethernet up and running on it. I want it to be able to go out and let my subscriber counts, video views, that kind of stuff, and display that stuff on the, Nixie tubes. Just all kinds of things I want to be able to do with it. And for the price, this gives me a ton of performance. So that's something that arrived in the last few days. As I slowly move forward with this Nixie tube clock project. Next one here is a largish envelope. Get this in frame here. I'm using my now version 3 camera mount above the bench. Hopefully it's a little more steady than the version 2 was. This is a project I'm pretty excited about. Many of you will recognize this just by what you see here. So this is a reproduction of the original Apple II motherboard. I built an Apple I clone, bought the blank board, spent probably a year sourcing parts and getting it up and running. I should probably do a video on that if I haven't already. For the channel, I did a video ages ago before I was actually, blogging on the single channel here. So this is an Apple II motherboard. I'm pretty excited about getting this put together. 3 banks of 16K RAM to get to 48K. The various ROMs that the system uses, the 6502 processor. The video circuitry lives down here. No, take that back. Video circuitry lives here, which gets to your video out. Gonna have to start sourcing parts. A lot of it's common. The ROMs, I think I found a source online where I can order the ROMs. The character, I think they've got the character generator as well, which is, I believe, this guy right here, the 2513. I don't have an Apple II specific keyboard, but this will take parallel ASCII. I have a parallel ASCII keyboard that I'm using on the Apple I, and I have a few other parallel ASCII keyboards, and one of those will get purposed into this. This will probably take quite a while to build. Mostly it's just a lot of soldering. I'll socket everything, of course. But looking forward to this. This should be a fun build. The board quality looks really nice. I think the board was $30 on eBay, which seemed like almost a steal. I paid, I think, over $100 for the Apple One board on eBay. Just hopefully you're not getting all the reflection I am from the overhead lights. You probably are, but I know the board looks really nice. Silk, excellent silk screen. This is of course Steve Wozniak's design. The Woz. My understanding is initially some Apple IIs were sold as just the board. I don't know if that board was stuffed or a blank board, but before there was cases, they did sell some. This would be from that era. So like I said, I'm excited about this project. I've never owned an Apple II. I've never done anything with it, but just the build of this should be a lot of fun. Then over the weekend, I got out to one of my favorite recyclers, and I picked up some stuff. So these are ISA prototyping boards. If I can get it dumped out of there. There's the other staple. So it's an ISA prototyping board, 8-bit bus. It's got a nice area of prototyping area here, and of course interface for the board. I like the fact that these were still in the original packaging. It's got the little manual. There's apparently some errata, resistor not labeled. There's a 4.7K ohm resistor. See if I can figure out where that resistor is. This does not look the same as this. 244, 244. Is this on the back side? There we go. That looks more like it. So there's a, I see him here, there's a 4.7K resistor between these points. That's not in the silk screen. But pretty neat find. The fact that it has the manual with it is pretty sweet with the schematics. Not that I'll be doing a lot with ISA bus stuff, but this could be fun. Here's apparently, is this a UART board? It looks like hardware clock consists of it. Oh no, it's a real-time clock calendar based on the 5832. So that's pretty cool. They spotted this and knowing that I was interested in this kind of stuff held on to it for me. There is in the bag the bracket as well. It's got a spot here where you could put a connector to get off the board to the real world. We're very happy with that. That's a nice little find, and it was really nice that got set aside, knowing I'm probably the one geeky guy that would be interested in picking this up. I've been thinking about, I've got a couple of passive ISA backplanes, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a Z80 computer. This is a similar thing, except it's got 16-bit bus on it. It's got some PALs labeled here, PAL 16L8. I don't know if the manual gives the PAL code. The Verilog, I'm assuming is what it is. We'll find out. This is, of course, as it says, for the PCAT. Very similar package. The bracket, the card, and of course now it's expanded to 16 bits. Again, a nice block of prototyping area. Copyright 1988. This has been around a while. Purpose. So here's some example Verilog. Schematics, etc. So again, it's a nice little find. It'll be interesting to see what I can do with it in the myriad of projects that I have in various states of initial planning to nearly completed. What else did I get while I was there? They threw this at me. It's a couple 16550 UARTs with a 16-byte FIFO and some cache memory. They're 51, 256, 150 nanosecond, or 15 nanosecond cache memories. So, go into the chip collection. They also held on to this. It's a very nice sized proto board. Got wrap sockets on it. Several here have soldered pins. I will most likely remove these sockets and clean this up. I do wire wrap. This will be useful for a future wire wrap project. More miscellaneous 40-pin wrap sockets. These are 2116 SRAMs. So 2K by 8. Did I say 2116? 2016. 2K by 8. SRAMs look like they're 120 nanosecond. Some kind of an LED panel board here out of something. I'm not sure what it's out of. Oh, it says Sega on it. Sega SD1210. I will have to research what that is. A Sega GD1210. Now I'm really curious what this came out of. Some pretty old school 7-segment LEDs. Obviously this mounted this way. I'm trying to imagine what this could have been. Even though the Sega's blacked out, I'm going to have to look that up, figure out what that came out of. That's a nice little piece. So sorry I received a phone call there. There was a couple more wrap sockets. DB9. And then there was some bags of power resistors, which are kind of nice, and just some general hardware here. Power resistors will just get sorted into my power resistor box. I think this came out of, I hate to say it, a Heathkit color television kit. The kit was in pieces. Most of it was gone. At least that seemed to be, based on what we saw and the few parts that were there. There was very little of it left, but I ended up with the power resistors. It's just, you know, I have little need for large power resistors, but, you know, I have a stock here, and these will just get sorted into that stock. So anyhow, there's the haul from the weekend, plus a couple of projects. I'll just mention that the ISA prototyping boards, the stuff you see here, and all those resistors, I gave $10 for all of it, so hard to pass up. I am working on a Heathkit H8 project, and this might make a good prototyping board for the H8. It's about the right size, I think, to sit in the H8 chassis. So, you know, I'm, as always, planning and have a million different ideas of what to do. I'll research this Sega GD1210, find out what this was. Maybe an arcade machine? Anyhow, I'll wrap this up here and we'll talk soon. Bye.